Hey there, LEGO fans and Potterheads. I am the lawyer in the LEGO Shed, and this is the second in a series of videos that I will be making this year as I build my way through the magical world of LEGO Harry Potter. I've been collecting Harry Potter LEGO since the line started back in 2001 with the release of the very first movie. And for this video series, I will be building sets that have been part of the more recent waves of HP LEGO, beginning in 2018 and stopping with the 2023 releases. My plan is to go in movie order, and so without further ado, let's get started. Our second set is set number 76390, a LEGO Harry Potter Advent Calendar. This set was released in 2021 with 274 pieces. This is actually the third Harry Potter Advent Calendar that LEGO released, and it focuses on basically the time from when Harry finds out that he's a wizard until he arrives at the Great Hall at Hogwarts. So given the subject matter, I'm actually going to be splitting this review into parts, with this first video looking at everything up to the Gringotts builds. So let's get started with a few things here. We've got some of the first few days of the calendar represented here in the foreground. We've got a Harry minifigure, we've got a Dudley minifigure, a nice little Privet Drive sign, a little fireplace, and a birthday cake box, which we'll open up in a second. We also have a few other things as well. We've got a moving wall here as to access Diagon Alley. We have a little sign here for the Leaky Cauldron, and we have a little table with some cups and a bottle for the Leaky Cauldron as well. But starting off with these first pieces here, I want to focus on some of the things that I like about this portion of the Advent Calendar. First is this Leaky Cauldron sign, which looks really fantastic. It's got some great printing on it. It's got some great, very movie accurate printing as far as the design of the sign, so it looks really good. And I'll be honest, was something that I was hoping would mean that they were going to be releasing a Leaky Cauldron in the near future, but we have yet to see one of those get released. Next up was this really beautiful printing for Harry's birthday cake, which you can kind of see here, saying exactly in the kind of childlike writing for Hagrid, "Happy Birthday, Harry." A little misspelled and everything, but still super cute and fun to see a nice little specific reference, and even in the cake box that Hagrid pulls from his oversized coat. Next is this great Dudley minifigure, which, as we talked about, he originally appears in that Privet Drive set, but this little guy comes in his pajamas and then even has the little pigtail on the back that Hagrid gives him when the Dursley family has fled to the hut on the rock, in order to escape the letters that are coming for Harry's 11th birthday. And then next, we've got some great printing on Harry here for his oversized clothes that were hand-me-downs from Dudley that just never ever fit him and always looked terribly messy on him. So really fun minifigures, some fun components to like about the set for sure. But let's talk about some of the things that are not as desirable here. First off, we can talk about the fact that Harry here is not unique. Harry has actually been represented in this way, not only in the Diagon Alley set, but he's also represented this way in the collector's edition of the Hogwarts Express. So not unique. His face is different for the Diagon Alley set, which I'll show a picture here. But aside from that, he's wearing the same stuff, so it's a little bit of a letdown there. Then everything else about the build is pretty basic. So for example, if we take a look at this sign, not a whole lot of unique things here aside from a sticker, which is different from the Privet Drive sign from the actual Privet Drive house. It's got some nice printing on this tile, but unfortunately this one is simply a sticker and doesn't come with a nice owl kind of doing that nod to the letters being delivered by the owls. This one just has the actual letter itself on top. Similarly, all these builds, no real unique printing on them. So we've got this little fireplace build here. We've got the little separating wall that lets you into Diagon Alley. And then, of course, the table here. All of them are pretty basic, nothing really that unique, so a little bit of a letdown on that front. Another component here that was a little disappointing for me was that there were repeats from previous sets. So like I just showed you, the Privet Drive sign is a repeat from the actual Privet Drive set. This play feature is a repeat, so the ability for the fireplace to open and then have the letters come spilling out, just like I showed there. That is also a repeated play feature from the Privet Drive set, so something that kind of was a bit of a letdown there for me. Next was the fact that they split certain things across multiple days. So what would I think normally be considered a pretty standard build for an advent calendar, instead of this being just one day, this actually constituted 2 days in the advent calendar. So kind of felt like you were a little shortchanged there. And comparing the actual piece counts to other previous years, you were shortchanged by almost 100 pieces in this particular year. So a little bit of a letdown on that front. Next up would be that the overall calendar itself, I think marked a real shift in quality from the previous 2 years. The previous 2 years focusing on Harry's First Christmas at Hogwarts, and then the next year focusing on the Yule Ball. Both were, I think, exceptional calendars, great minifigures, really exciting things to build, and could be used in a meaningful way within the sets. This one, however, really is kind of trying to recreate certain things and not doing it very well. So I think that it's ultimately pretty unsuccessful at what it's trying to do. Least of all the fact that this is one that also tried to incorporate a game element, which I personally just don't care for. It's something I don't think is really all that necessary. But for me, it just is also kind of a miss in that front. So while there are a few components like the cake, and I think these, kind of unique printed minifigures and things like that, and even the sign for the Leaky Cauldron, while those things could be definitely incorporated into your grander sets, there's a lot of other stuff that really ends up being kind of useless as far as incorporating into other things. So I think that's it for our second set here on this journey. If you're interested in following along, please follow the account. And if there's anything that you think I should be covering in these reviews, drop a comment and let me know. So thanks for watching and have an awesome day.